my entire experience. In the most motherly, generous voice, she said, "Jess, when you are scared because of something new, you're not adult Jessica. You're not the resourceful adult who knows how to tap. You're this little girl who is really scared, and that little girl doesn't know how to tap. That scared part of you deserves your own compassion first and foremost." As soon as Cheryl said those words, I exhaled. She had captured my experience so perfectly that my relief was physical as well as emotional. I could suddenly see that I'd been suppressing the mature, resourceful adult I am. Up until that moment, my fear had temporarily caused me to resort to a younger version of myself. Have you ever done that? It's what we often do when we're faced with new circumstances. We expect ourselves to be resourceful and productive, when on a deeper level, we're overwhelmed by a primal fear of the unknown. Truthfully, that fear had snuck back into my life. During the months surrounding my book launch, I told myself repeatedly that I'd be fine once the book launch was over. It was just my schedule, the constant demands. The problem, I kept telling myself, was my external circumstances. Ironically, during the many months prior to the launch, which I'd spent writing the book, my stress had been around how my book would be received. I really wanted the book to be a bestseller. When my book did hit the bestsellers list, my primitive brain found new reasons to freak out. That's what the primitive brain does. It constantly scans your internal and external surroundings to locate new threats and unforeseen dangers. It doesn't kick back and relax once you've reached a goal. Instead, it prods and pokes at your successes and everything else in your life to find the shadow side. Once it finds those dark spots, it rushes in to reveal those findings. That's how it keeps you continuously cycling through what I call the pattern of panic. The primitive brain's tireless search for danger, even in positive developments like reaching a major milestone, is why focusing on external circumstances, love, money, success, and more, as ways to fix our lives never delivers the peace of mind and flow we hope for. Once Cheryl had given me the space that day to replace my self-judgment with compassion, we spent time tapping together on the phone, processing and releasing everything I'd been feeling. Afterwards, I felt lighter, like a dense weight had been lifted off of me. From that day forward, I resumed my regular tapping meditation practice and made sure to take time each day to connect with my inner self, this time without the panic. Still, though, I had questions. I reached out to friends and colleagues who are also authors. Each of them reassured me that what I was feeling was part of the process. As the weeks turned into months, I found myself repeatedly asking questions like, why do we fear the unknown so intensely that we're willing to shy away from our deepest desires and settle for playing small? Why do we get enthused when we first start something, only to burn out the moment things feel challenging? Why does getting what we want sometimes feel just as scary as not getting what we want? And why, even with new outcomes we desire, do we often struggle to sustain them and instead